we owe ourselves that responsibility just to be good people to one another, But the way we have it in our own society is different. It is born out of greed. It is born out of, um, we call it entitlement mentality. It's born out of, you owe me what you got, really.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite show, Gist HQ. Here we bring you exciting gist from across Africa and a lot more. Fasten your seatbelt, guys. It's going to be an exciting ride. Welcome back, guys. So today we are going to be talking about entitlement mentality in our society. In our world today, a lot of people have a sense of deservingness or being owed a favor. They believe they're supposed to get a certain kind of treatment or money from someone, even when they have not done anything to deserve such treatment or that money. We've heard series of stories where people are beefing family members for not helping them, where the police in Nigeria are asking Nigerians to appreciate them for doing their job. And then people demanding some kind of compensation for doing anything good. So today, to discuss about this entitlement mentality, I have two wonderful guests with me. I have Reshayo Kasumu. He is a media entrepreneur. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have Mr. Felix Ogwezi. He is a life coach.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much. So, Mr. Reshayo, do you think anybody owes anybody anything?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I would look at it from what should be the norm, which is that, all of us, we owe ourselves, the responsibility to be good to one another. We owe ourselves that responsibility just to be good people to one another, But the way we have it in our own society is different. It is born out of greed. It is born out of, we call it entitlement mentality. It's born out of, you owe me what you got, really. So if you are rich and you live in a neighborhood now, some people are looking at you like, why are you rich? Why am I not rich? Why is it that it is you that I'm also, for crying out loud, you walk out, you work long hours, you pay the price, to get to where you are and all. But some people they just feel like, why do you have what you have and all? So it's not a good thing, really. And let me give you an instance. Do you know that if people push your car, if your car kind of just breaks down on the road and all, and people push your car, do you know that they feel that you owe them? You should give them something for it. Yeah. And you know what they say now, show love. Show love. That's the catchphrase in our society now, And you are showing love. The love that you are showing is not born out of, free will. It's born out of you making a demand on you too. And if you look at all these things, it's a reflection of what our society has come to be, And it's not something that we need to just sit, and accept that this is the way it is and all. We have to keep re-educating ourselves, and pushing ourselves to be more responsible to one another, and all. And yeah, I just feel like it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to have an entitlement mentality.
Okay, so Mr. Felix, how would you describe someone who is entitled?
Okay, that's a great question. So, like the definitions you gave during your intro, that sense of feeling that you owe me something. That's one. So people feel that the world owes them something. So they feel that there's no how, like my brother rightly said, show me love. So people feel that there's something that I deserve. I deserve much more. You need to treat me specially. I need to be treated specially. And it's a mindset, it's a mentality that people don't know because, one of the factors that could trigger it is because of the environment. So when you are in an environment where you have been deprived, there's a tendency that you may grow up with that mentality and you feel that you should be treated specially. And you see that it cuts across every facet of our national life. He's talking about pushing vehicles, you go to immigration, everywhere you just feel that, in fact, when people do something, even something be telling you, you better give this guy something. And even when you even give the person something, they say, if the person is not, if it's not enough, they look. Even you will feel the energy that, man, it's like, how can you give me this kind of, how can you know? So it's really, worrisome, and I'm happy that we're having this conversation here, because people just feel, oh, that the world owes them something, and you must give me something.
Okay. So, how do you think that we can correct that mentality? Because I don't even believe it can be corrected. But how can we try to correct it?
Okay, fine. That's a great question. So this topic actually reminds me of a conversation we had in my first degree in philosophy. So we have what we call the altruistic school and the egotist school. So the altruistic school says that it is possible for you to do things without expecting anything in return. But the egotist school says no, that behind everything you do, there's a motive. There's a motive. There's nobody that can tell me you are doing this thing because you are doing it because you out of free will. There's nothing. And so, to bring us to the issue here, so if we want to actually deal with this issue, first and foremost, you must agree in your mind that nobody owes you anything. That is where you need to settle it. You need to settle that in yourself. You settle that internally. That is where it's all starts. Secondly, we also need to start intentionally being kind without expecting anything. And you know that some of us even subconsciously behave entitled and we're not even aware. Some of us, you know, maybe there's you help somebody to do something, you run around for this person, and after you did that for this person, now you wanted something in return and the person didn't do it. Immediately your mind just takes you straight to that place. Remember you did this to this person. Why would this person? Even some friends will tell, I know this person didn't do well. So it is at that point you begin to take caution and say, no, I did this for this person, and it's from free will. So it has to start with that. Start intentionally showing kindness to people. So when you begin to show kindness and you don't expect anything, then that really helps. Then another thing I want to say, like I said again, that you need to continue to do this intentionally. Do it intentionally. Once you catch yourself that, you catch yourself being entitled, you correct yourself immediately. So you self-correct. So as you do this intentionally, it begins to register in your subconscious. And like we say, if you do something for 21 days, for 91 days, it becomes part of your nature.
We'll try to be doing it for 21 days. Okay, so we're going on a break, and then when we come back, we are going to fully dissect this topic. Stay with me. Welcome back, everybody. We're still discussing about entitlement mentality in our society. So, Mr. Rashael, to what extent is it okay for someone to be entitled or to expect something in return?
I think, I think based on what the definition that Felix gave to the, what was that? Is that psychology?
Mm-hmm.
Is that psychology? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the ego, what did you call it?
The egotism.
The egotism, yeah.
Mm.
So, I think with that definition, we can all of us, we can agree that there is a level of, reward that we expect when we do something nice for people, which is, supposed to be natural. You say, maybe you help somebody that is maybe falling, you help bring them up and all. The normal thing to say is thank you. You hold the door for somebody, the normal thing to say is thank you. So when they don't say thank you, there is that feeling that you like, yeah, sure you get. So we have that natural, it's our nature, to expect when you do something for someone, they should reciprocate in kind, and all. So that is there, But when we go a step further, and start demanding from people. I mean, I also like one of the things that he shared, where when after maybe you buy a product now, maybe you go to the restaurant, for instance, you, I mean, you purchase, you make your purchases and all and everything, and you see guys that are kind of, especially if you have, if your purchase is big, if you have big bags and all, you see the guys be like, bros, show love now, or madam, show love and all. Do you get? It wasn't. The truth of the matter is, they probably didn't do anything for you. They didn't even help you carry the bag. But just because they saw you with those big bags, you have to show love. Where is that money coming from? As a matter of fact, why are you making that much money and you're buying that big stuff in those bags and all? So it's like they are demanding from you and all. And you see, and there's this saying, like, if you want to build a great nation, you set solitaries in families. Where are those guys coming from? Who is their, who tutored them? Who brought them up? And all. And you are also a reflection, not also, you are a reflection of the house you are coming from, of the home you are coming from. So if you are not well brought up, there is a tendency for you to be like that, where you think that everybody owes you stuff and all. Yeah. So I think those are the things that we need to look at, if we're looking at this thing. It's very wide, but then we can always address it one step after the other.
Okay, so what can you say about a situation where a lady and a guy are in a relationship, and then the guy falls ill and needs a kidney transplant? The lady gives up one of her kidneys to the guy, and then is expecting that the guy marries her. Yeah? And so, is she supposed to expect that from that guy just because she has done that? Is the guy supposed to marry her? Because, yes.
Okay.
So what can you say about that?
This one is interesting.
It can also be linked to a lady dating a guy for several years, and then the guy goes out to marry someone else. She must have been expecting that he should marry her. Yeah.
But why is it not the other way around?
It could be the other way around.
Okay, so the guy has been dating the girl for so long, and the guy felt like, why did you now ditch me?
Yeah. So why do you think he feels that she should marry him? Why is he expecting that? Is it okay to expect that at that particular point?
I'm going to speak to the kidney one, because that one is where the truth. The question to ask is, what was did they have like an agreement before she gave up her kidney? Because that's very dangerous, And if you're going to do that kidney stuff, family members will have to be involved, because then, except of course, the way this relationship thing is, when they don't enter body like this, you can just fly with the guy, like,
Okay, so what can you say about that? To what extent is it okay to be entitled to expect something?
Because you want to speak to that case study?
All our examples.
Okay, good. So for me, that the example of the kidney issue. So the question, because when it comes to relationship, one of the things I look at is what the foundation. So what are your expectations? Because definitely when you are starting a relationship, you must come with expectation. So we must be able to balance it, expectation and entitlement. So it's normal. It's okay for me to, I'm here, I had certain expectation coming here. So it's okay to have expectation. But where there's a problem is when this is not defined ab initio. What's the foundation of that relationship? So if you are expecting me because I gave you my kidney, and because I gave you my kidney, I expect you to be committed to the relationship. So we are gradually beginning to move through transactional relationship. So is it transactional? So, so if we don't really define this from the beginning, there's a tendency that you may make some wrong calls that may eventually come and haunt you. So if it's defined, and the same thing with the person that has been married for a long time, I believe from the foundation, the purpose of the relationship will be defined. That, this is where it's going to, except it was not defined. And that's why, and I'm sorry, I may be sounding a bit old school here. When I watch some things trending online and somebody gives a ring to a girl and the girl is so surprised, and I'm going to wonder, is it that people didn't define the relationship at initial? Because I believe that should be the expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, standing the old school here, but but that is my own understanding.
Okay, so how about parents that demand from their children? Is it an entitlement mentality, or is it that they are expecting the child to just take care of them because they gave birth to them?
Well, one of the things that we normally quote in the Bible, honor your father and mother so that your days may be long. And so there's a place of honor. And the truth of the matter is that because we were raised from this part of the world in Africa, so we believe that we should reach out to our parents. It's a belief system. You understand? And many people do that. But the challenge is, again, from the parent angle, is that now the question is, what is the state of that person in question? Is he financially buoyant? Is he facing challenges? Because at times, most parents don't understand, especially the world where I find ourselves now, where maybe there are some family that they were able to erect solid foundation, and the children had to climb on that foundation. Whereas there are some family where maybe, yes, the parents were able to lay that foundation, maybe they were able to send them to school. But unfortunately, after going to school, they are not getting that job that can even meet their immediate needs. So you're still trying to deal with your family, your own nuclear family. You're still struggling. Then now you have parents to care for. So, and if parents don't understand this, you may begin to put undue pressure on your son or your daughter that may trigger something else entirely, because there's something telling him at the back of my mind, I'm supposed to honor my parents. And the fact that it's inadequate, doesn't have the ability, that enough is killing him. So, but sadly, most parents are not even taking cognizance of that, because I know in our world, especially today, there's a lot of comparison. When the other parent says, my son got me this, my son brought this to something in you, which is human nature, begin to I wish my own son can do this. So and so, but one of the things we have tried to tell people that when you begin to build your expectation on that, you are going to feel disappointed. And when you feel disappointed because you're feeling entitled, you are going to create a vicious circle that will keep haunting you, keep triggering you, putting you in a disempowered state, which is not a good place to be.
Okay. Okay, so in your opinion, is there any situation where it is okay to be entitled?
That's a great question, because so there are some school of thought who believe, yes, that there are situations. For instance, one of the things about people that are entitled is that they have confidence. They are very expressive. And if you look at, for somebody to tell you, you're supposed to settle me now, it's a level of confidence. And that's why when it comes to getting jobs, they get jobs. But the truth is that one of the things with them is that some of their actions are self-serving. Most of their actions is self-serving, by themselves. You understand? So when you have people like that now, and so there are cases where you are trying to demand rights in the workspace. Maybe there's certain things that is supposed to be accrued to us in the workspace. When you push those people as leaders, they have a way of making things happen. When it comes to that, trying to fight for your rights, fight for certain things in the workspace, even politically. There are certain things that you feel that these are accrued to the citizens. You put those people there, they are very good because of their confidence. But you must understand that is one area they are good. If you extend more, if you extend it more than that, because they are very poor when it comes to interpersonal relationships, they are very poor in managing because it's about them. So if you are in that environment, in a space where you're supposed to work as a team, when you have somebody like that in your team, it may begin to self-sabotage that team. But when it comes to pushing them to pursue a goal, a collective goal, and they are at the forefront, they can deliver.
Wow, that's nice. So you do.
Yeah, I agree with and I think, I mean, what I mean we now need to do is identify, I mean, the positive traits in that person, and encourage them to be more expressive in that aspect, and all. And if they are, then we have a better, I do transaction a lot because I'm in business and all. I do transaction a lot, and I see a lot of people with this entitlement, and all, and it's not a good thing. It's something that needs to we need to do away with, But how can we do that if we don't keep talking keep talking, keep talking, keep talking about it, you know. And yeah, I think that's the way I would look at it. That's the way it goes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're still going to be discussing about entitlement mentality. Welcome back, everybody. We're still on the entitlement mentality in our society. So, Mr. Felix, what is your counsel, or how can you better advise someone who thinks everybody owes them something?
Well, the truth of the matter, like I keep saying and I've said before, we need to change that. It's a mindset. And it's a mindset because of the environment. So if you are in an environment where you were deprived and you are able to step a bit above that situation, there's a tendency you begin to feel entitled. If you are also raised by authority figures where everything was given to you on a platter of gold, I mean, you didn't take responsibility. It's a question of time before you become entitled. Then there are also cases where maybe it's a personality disorder. So we need to be able to extract that. So once you realize it, first thing first is getting to the place of self-awareness. Once you are aware that you are feeling entitled, you must learn to intentionally self-correct. Correct yourself. Catch yourself. Even when you are doing it, it's okay if you make mistake. It doesn't matter. Don't be too hard on yourself. Learn the process. Learn the process again and show kindness. Like I said, show kindness. Go out of your way to show kindness. When you show kindness and you are not expecting, in fact, go and show kindness to people that you know you will not get anything from them. So when you begin to do that, this begins to, because this is an habit and it has been registered in the subconscious. So once you begin to do it intentionally, subconsciously too, you begin to learn the new pathway. And before you know it, you're able to deal with it.
Okay, how about you, Mr. Resh?
Yeah, I mean, there's no two way to, I mean, to to say exactly what I mean Felix said, you know, which is that we encourage people, you know, to do better. We encourage, and you know, I also look at it from um, communities, maybe community leaders, you know, and if community leaders have entitlement mentality, automatically that's what they demand, you know, from their people and all. Yeah. So it's, I mean, it's going to have to be a continuous, you know, reorientation, you know, and it has to be embedded in government policies as well, you know, because I mean, like I said, you know, if a society is kind of, I mean, apart, falling like that and all, we have to figure a way to fix it, to, I mean, make things right and all, you know, and it has to start from somewhere, you know. So for someone like you already have that consciousness, you know, you tell your friends, you know, you start discussions among your friends, you know, how can we, and then from there, one reach one, you know, and then from there it ripples, and then it goes spread like that. So it's not something that we just keep quiet. We keep talking about it. We keep looking for ways to start that conversation, you know, and all. And last thing before, what's it called? I don't think it's a bad thing entirely, because I've spoken with some person, you know, my friend, one of my friends, you know, she lives in the UK and she travels a lot. You know, she said she went to the US, you know, and she said it was more like if you buy something, people expect you to, I mean, to tip and all. So it's not a Nigerian thing, you know. It's a society thing, like I said, and we have to kind of orientate ourselves.
Okay, okay, we have to reorientate ourselves to do better. So, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you learned a lot. Nobody owes you anything. Keep a date with me every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you very much to my amazing guest. It was wonderful having you. So until I come your way again next week, bye.